The haunting Howls of Ossory, the tragic curse of the werewolf clan. Welcome to Myth Minimus, where we explore the rich tapestry of mythologies from around the world. Today, we delve into the eerie legend of the Werewolves of Ossory, a chilling tale from medieval Irish folklore. This ancient story, documented by the 12th century cleric Gerald of Wales, tells of a noble family cursed to transform into wolves, doomed to roam the forests of Ossory for 7 long years. Join us as we uncover the secrets of this haunting curse and the tragic fate that befell this once revered family, through the eyes of Marin, our village elder and storyteller.
Gather round, my friends, and let me tell you a tale as old as these hills. A tale of wonder, fear, and the ancient curse that haunts the land of Ossory. In the heart of Ireland, nestled among these very woods, there was once a family, noble and kind, yet burdened with a dark and sinister curse. Many years ago, the powerful chieftain of Ossory, consumed by a fit of rage and jealousy, invoked dark forces to curse his rivals. This malevolent curse decreed that the afflicted family would be doomed to transform into wolves, forced to roam the forests for 7 long years before regaining their human forms. The curse was relentless and unyielding, mercilessly passing from one family member to another, ensuring that they would be forever bound to the wild, trapped between the worlds of man and beast. I remember my grandmother telling me of the night when it all began. It was a full moon, and the air was thick with tension. The wolves' howls echoed through the valleys, more desperate, more chilling than any she had ever heard. The villagers were frightened, sensing that something was terribly wrong, though they could not yet understand the true nature of these beasts. The family lived among us, bearing the heavy burden of their secret. They were our neighbours, our friends, their faces familiar and their hearts kind. Yet, every 7th year, one of them would vanish into the night, only to return, broken and weary, at the end of their cursed time. Imagine the pain of knowing that your loved one would transform into a creature of the night, feared and hunted, for 7 long years. Their absence was always felt, their return marked by a silence and sorrow that spoke volumes of the horrors they endured. Although we did not realize the source of the curse, we couldn't ignore the strange occurrences that seemed to surface every 7 years. People would mysteriously go missing, their disappearances shrouded in darkness and fear. On certain nights, the air would be pierced by blood-curdling screams echoing from the depths of the woods, chilling the hearts of even the bravest among us. Livestock would be found slaughtered, their remains scattered and savaged as if by some ferocious beast. These events cast a long shadow over the village, filling our hearts with dread and suspicion. Children whispered tales of monsters lurking in the forest, and parents kept a closer watch, fearful of what might come with the next full moon. Doors were bolted tightly at night, and fires were stoked higher, as if the warmth and light could ward off whatever terror lay in the shadows. The sense of unease grew with each cycle, a dark undercurrent in our everyday lives, as we all waited anxiously for the storm of terror that inevitably came every 7 years. The terror reached such a peak that one winter's eve, a priest arrived in our village, summoned by the whispered fears and desperate hopes of the people. He was a kind man, with eyes that seemed to pierce the very soul, seeing more than they should. His arrival brought a flicker of hope to our weary hearts, for he carried with him the promise of solace and understanding. The priest journeyed into the woods, and when he came back, he was changed. We know not what his eyes saw, save for what he told us. His face was pale, and his eyes held a heaviness that spoke of the dark secrets he had encountered. He gathered us under the moon and recounted his harrowing experience.
Gather round, friends, and heed my words, for what I have witnessed was both wondrous to the eyes and sorrowful to the heart. As I ventured deeper into the dense forest, the air grew colder, and the silence was broken only by the crunch of my footsteps on the frost-kissed ground. Suddenly, a great wolf emerged from the underbrush, its eyes glowing with a sorrowful wisdom. My heart pounded in my chest as I beheld this fearsome creature, its gaze piercing and filled with a haunting sadness. I could scarcely believe my senses when, to my utter astonishment, the beast spoke to me. Its voice was a low growl mingled with human pain, a sound that sent shivers down my spine. "Father," it pleaded, "my companion lies dying. Will you not grant us the last rites, for we are not mere beasts, but cursed souls seeking redemption?" Though shaken, I followed the wolf to a clearing where another lay, breathing shallowly. The dying wolf's body was riddled with wounds, one of which was a deep gash across its side, as if it had been struck by a hunter's arrow. Blood matted its fur and pooled beneath it, stark evidence of the fierce battle it had endured. As I knelt beside the creature, a wave of disbelief and fear washed over me, but I forced myself to continue. I administered the rites, my hands trembling and my voice unsteady. As I spoke the final words, I watched in stunned amazement as the wolf's eyes closed in peace and its form slowly, painfully, transformed back into that of a man. It was a sight both miraculous and horrifying, and I could scarcely believe my eyes. What I witnessed was both astonishing and tragic, revealing the true nature of the curse that binds this family. They are not monsters, but our own, cursed to endure a fate they did not choose. Seeing the man where the wolf once lay, I understood the immense suffering they bear. They are souls caught between two worlds, longing for redemption and release from this cruel enchantment.
His words brought a deeper understanding, and a wave of sorrow and compassion spread through our community as we realized the true nature of the beings we had once feared. The tales of monsters lurking in the woods were replaced with the heart-wrenching reality of our neighbors, cursed by a cruel fate beyond their control. We learned to see them not as creatures to be hunted, but as our own kin, forced to endure a terrible burden. The family of Ossory, once shrouded in mystery and fear, became a symbol of resilience and the eternal struggle between our human nature and the wild instincts within us. Their story was a testament to the strength of the human spirit, enduring the unendurable with grace and dignity. Each time we heard the distant howls or saw the haunted eyes of a returning family member, we were reminded of their silent suffering and unwavering courage. It changed us, binding us together in a shared sense of empathy and understanding, forever altering the way we viewed the world around us. And so remember this tale well, for in the forests of Ossory, the line between man and beast is thin, and it is compassion that reveals the truth behind the curse. The story of the family of Ossory is not just a legend of old, but a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring struggle between our higher selves and our primal instincts. Let this tale be a beacon of understanding in our own lives. The old stories are never far from the present, woven into the fabric of our reality, urging us to look beyond the surface and see the humanity within. Sleep well, and may your dreams be filled with peace, untroubled by the haunting howls of the wolves that once roamed our land.
Divine miracles are not to be made the subjects of disputation by human reason, but to be admired.